Know that the soldiers of anger and appetite can yield completely to the heart and thus help it to tread the path it is taking and providing it with good company on its journey. But they can also be outrageously rebellious, refractory, to the extent that they overmaster and enslave it, and thus drive it to destruction and hinder it from its wayfaring through which it can obtain eternal felicity. And that's why they are for you, but they can also be against you. So therefore, guys, why these two are so important is that you don't get into this rubbish, jinn, or shaitan. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's no scapegoats. There's no like, oh yeah, I think you're possessed, man. No. By identifying these two soldiers in this way, you now recognize that within you is the war. That's it. Simple as that. Within you is the battle. That's why it's not easy. Intuitively, and even when you do things, when you try and do good, it's not easy, is it? Fajr is even getting later and later. Still seems like you've got to wake up at 3 in the morning, innit? And even when it's at 3 in the morning, yeah, you're waiting, oh man, winter. That's pure enough. Winter comes, and we're in the part of the world, the hemisphere, where I don't think you have Fajr any later, man. A man still waking up like he's got to wake up at 3 in the morning. That's enough. That's just pure, the appetite it does desire. And that's why you've got to break this. We have to face that. In every way, in every sense. Because that's what stops us. So that's why you have to constantly be struggling. Because if you stop, you lose focus. And you can forget. And you can then become complacent. You fall into error. You can end up not regulating the limbs, which then induces smoke, which he talks about. The blocking. So what we need to understand in this world, while we're here, is that this is the challenge. And at no point does it become, oh, I've done it. There's no point. At no point while we're alive are you ever going to be able to say, I've done it. Never. And if you try to aim for that, you're deluded. You're already deluded. So what are the encouragements and the drivers? Are the experiences and realizations towards knowing God that are new and are fresh? And how do you make new realizations of God? We already said it, right? One is struggling against yourself, the thing of going against the nafs. And that most optimum way of going against your nafs is what? How do you go against your nafs? Fasting. You could do that, depending, yeah. Maybe some people can find it easier than other things, but you could. But generically, what's fasting amongst? It's amongst worship. What do you call that? That's worship in Arabic, man. Come on. You try and trick me or something. Make it sound a bit better, You're all around. You're all saying it. It's basically good actions. You know, good actions. Why you say good actions? Because when you say worship, you can compartmentalize that to salah, tasbih, and all that stuff. Good actions are massive. So while we're in this world, we are constantly trying to invest ourselves in good actions. For what reason? The heart starts to find its clarity, and the heart is the place that then can know God. And it's good actions that constantly feed the clarity. And then the clarity of the heart is then exposed to then know the one we worship. And there's no end to that knowing. Because your life is always changing. You're always going through different things. And everything you go through that's different, Allah is to be witnessed. And you know, that's when the Prophet said, worship Allah as though you see Him. And if you do not see Him, know that He sees you. That is witnessing Allah. Right? Ultimately, that witnessing of Allah, that realization of Allah, is something you want. You want that to be so frequent, but then how do you do it? One is good actions. We just said that. Yeah, good actions is the feeder. But amongst good actions, what would you say is one of the most powerful and the most influential in feeding that knowing? Is your never stopping to seek knowledge. Seeking knowledge. You know why? The graft in learning and exercising the intellect in that way, that kills your nafs. It makes it very difficult. And it is one of the most powerfulest things. Because it's knowledge that then informs what you interpret to be realization. And this is why many of the Sahaba, they said, seeking a masala, understanding something of knowledge, is better than praying 2 nafls at night. Better than tahajjud.